K9RMR.
K9RMR.
Calling all stations to the BC Aries net. This is K9JAJ, Kilo 9, Juliet Alpha, Juliet. Net control for this session of the Bartholomew County Aries net. Are there any stations holding emergency, priority, or welfare traffic? If so, please call net control at this time. Simply alert net control with the ProAirs break, and I'll assist you with that emergency. Once again, net control is K9JAJ. My name is Jeff, and I'm located here in Columbus in Bartholomew County. This net is held every Wednesday evening at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time as an Aries training session and proper net procedures, and to provide information regarding Aries and other ham radio related activities in Bartholomew and surrounding counties. All stations are welcome to check in, and you do not need to bring formal traffic to the net, nor do you need to be a BC Aries team member. This is a directed net, so please direct all your communications through net control at all times. At this time, any stations holding non-emergency or routine traffic, please call. This week, please call. Formal traffic listed or announcements for the net. I will now begin taking check-ins. Check-ins are handled alphabetically according to call sign suffix. Please check in by stating your call sign using plain English followed by standard ITU phonetics that include your name and your county. At this time, stations with suffixes alpha through Lima, that's alpha through Lima only, please call net control.
Kilo Golf Niner Delta Kilo, that's KG9DK. John, and I have no traffic. Good evening to you, Jeff.
Number 9 Kilo Victor X-Ray, Jim. No traffic.
Net control acknowledging KG9DK, good evening John, and N9KVX, good evening Jim. Any other stations with call sign suffixes alpha through Lima, call now please. Call sign suffixes Mike through Zulu. Mike through Zulu only, please call.
N9 TLF, November 9 Tango Lima Foxtrot, Paul in Columbus. Good evening.
K9OPL, Kilo Alpha 9, Oscar Papa Lima, Joe, Bartholomew County.
K9RPB, Kilo Delta 9, Romeo Papa Bravo, Bartholomew County.
Three more that time. N9 TLF, good evening Paul, you about blew me out of my chair. Very strong signal tonight. As well as K9OPL, good evening Joe. And Bruce, K9RPB, a little scratchy tonight, Bruce, and a little low on volume there, but certainly copyable. Once again, this is K9JAJ. This is the BC Aries net. I'm taking check-ins. I'll now take check-ins from any station anywhere with call sign suffixes alpha through Zulu. Please call net control K9JAJ if you'd like to join us. Off up here that is it for the time being as far as check-ins, so we'll go up to the top of the list and visit with John, KG9DK. Good evening, John. Comments for the net this week?
This is KG9DK. Good evening to the net. Don't have a whole lot. I did appreciate we had a couple warm days earlier. Now we're getting back into more like winter weather, I guess. We'll see how close the weatherman is to his forecast in the next day or two. Not doing too much related to radio. I've got a little RT unit. It's called a U.S.A, and it's sort of an all-mo unit, very small, probably 3 by 4 by 1.5 inches. And I've been listening to, I put my off-center dipole antenna on it, and listen to like mid-cars, and I plugged in a Bluetooth speaker that has an auxiliary input, and boy, that thing sounds just as good as my big rig does, and I've been impressed with it. I need to do some more testing and try some more weaker signals perhaps, but sort of afraid to transmit a little bit. I'm not too much of a QRP operator, but I might get brave enough to plug the mic in and try a few transmissions on it. That's about it for this station here. This is KG9DK, back to net control.
KG9DK from K9JJ. Okay, John, well, hey, yeah, you're absolutely right about the warm weather, and it does appear that Old Man Winter's going to pay us a visit here again tonight, supposedly. It's been pretty chilly all day with that wind blowing, too. But if you got to get up early in the morning and go anywhere, watch out for those patchy spots on the highway. Might get some snow accumulation and some possible freezing drizzle during the night, so everybody be careful out there. Thanks for stopping by, John. Always a pleasure to speak with you and have you on here. We'll break with you and check in with Jim, N9KVX. Good evening, Jim. Your turn for comments.
KVX here, and not much for me on this end. If we do have some bad weather, you might look for state races on 147.210, 88.3 PL tone. So you might get some information there if you look. But we don't anticipate being on the air or anything right now. So that's about all I got. N9KVX, back to you, Nep. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Jeff.
N9KVX, K9JJ. Okay, Jim. Thanks for the information there, and we'll catch you here real soon. Stay safe out there, and thanks for everything you're doing up there at Indy. We'll break with you and check in next with Paul, N9TLF. Good evening, Paul. Any comments for us?
Good evening. This is N9TLF. No, I'm glad to hear the good signal report there. Not much going on over here. I, too, am not looking forward to that freezing rain, and hopefully it'll miss us and go the other way. And we are looking forward to the Hamfest in April, and I think it's still on, so we'll be waiting for that. We'll turn it back to you, N9TLF.
All right, Paul. Yeah, looking forward to the Hamfest as well. It'll be good to see some faces that we didn't get to see last year due to the health situation and whatnot. But anyway, thanks for dropping by, and we'll catch you again on another net, I'm sure. We'll break with you and check in with Joe, K9OPL. Good evening, Joe. Your turn.
Good evening, K9JJ in the group, K9OPL here. Not a whole lot to report. Got a new piece of equipment to play around with, although I haven't really done anything with it yet. It's a 220 megahertz amplifier, which can take from 2 to 6 watts input and produce between 30 and 50 watts output. So you hook up your HT to it and kind of turn it into a mobile. Actually waiting on another cable for it, and so I probably won't be playing with it much till this weekend, but that was my self-appointed birthday present. So that's going to be kind of interesting, and other than that, just a normal work week, on call this week, so that's just the way that goes. Returning back to net control, everybody stay safe and be careful of any of that slippery stuff out there. K9OPL, back to net.
K9OPL, K9JJ. Okay, Joe, yeah. Stay safe, stay warm, all that good stuff. And I'm assuming that happy birthday belated wishes are due, so happy birthday belated. But yeah, nice to get those self-appointed gifts when you can. Let us know how things turn out as you learn about that little piece of equipment. We'll break with you and check in with Bruce. Bruce, K9RPB. Your turn for comments, sir.
K9RPB, good evening, everybody. I was on my handheld at first, Jeff. That's the reason it was probably scratchy and low audio. Now I'm back up to my base station. A little comment about the weather. I was going to get out on a couple warm days and throw a lure at my pond, but it still had ice on it. But I did go out today for about 10 minutes, and that was long enough. My nose was cold, my fingers were cold, but it was good to go out and at least wet a line a little bit. And not much in the radio, just kind of playing a little FT8 today and some parks on the air. But other than that, that looks to be about all I've been doing today. Send it back to net control. K9OP, or here dumps in Joe's call sign. K9RPB.
K9RPB. That's kind of funny because W9MDT used to get me and Joe's call signs mixed up all the time when he was running the net when he still lived here in Columbus. So I got to check a lot of that. But yeah, you're sounding much better now on the other radio. So a 5x9 for sure, if there is such a thing on a repeater. But anywho, that does bring us down to the bottom of the list. And before I take any additional check-ins, I do want to remind those that might be interested in this Saturday is the severe weather training sponsored by the National Weather Service. It'll be out at the Letts Volunteer Fire Department. The training starts at 9 a.m. It's scheduled till 11, but typically gets done a little bit before that. And then the world-famous Letts Fire Department Fish Fry will follow that immediately thereafter, and that's always a good time. Good food, and get to hang out with some of the local hams and so on and so forth. I think right now it looks like possibly myself and Rick, W9RWR, will be heading out that way, so the more the merrier, and if you need any more information, you can ask me about that as we proceed through the evening here, or any time up until Saturday morning. This is K9JJ, net control for the BC Aries Net. I'll now take a short standby for any additional stations that might be listening and want to check in. If you're one of those, call now.
Here is Whiskey 9 Delta Bravo Alpha, W9 DBA Scott and Bean Blossom, Brown County. Better late than ever, I suppose.
Kilo Delta 9 Lima Echo Sierra, west in Gosport.
Stations there, W9DBA, good evening, Scott out there in Brown County, and K9LES, good evening, Les, good to hear you. Anyone else wishing to check in, call K9JJ at this time. Your comments or otherwise, announcements, so on and so forth, etc., etc. Your turn at the mic.
Well, thank you, Jeff. Thank you for running the net. And I guess it's cold over here in Brown County. That's the news to report. Announcement, I suppose I could announce the Brown County ARES net tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. on a 147.300. PL Tunnel 136.5. I was just talking to Joe, or to Fred, over here. Yeah, we get them probably with names and call signs tonight. Talking with Fred over here on Brown County. And as I was talking, I was using my feather duster to dust my keyboard, and the handle broke in two. How do you break a handle on a feather duster? So I kind of took the short end of it. I'm continued dusting. I got a little dust on my HF rig, and I waved that thing over the SWR meter that I have next to my HF rig, and by God, the SWR on this feather duster is well over 3. It was almost 4. So, strangest thing I've ever seen. I just was dusting across there, and those needles gave me a SWR reading. So I might have to tune this feather duster. Could be why the handle broke. got into the finals of the handle, and that was the end of that. So that's all I've got. Life's good over here in Brown County. It's good here in Les. Les, you sounded great tonight. So you were making it from Gosport. It's a long way. You know, the whole, it's nearly to the edge of the earth. If you're into the whole flat earth thing, Gosport's way the heck over there, off to the west, almost to where Dorothy and Toto got sucked up in that tornado. Not quite that far, but pretty close. So anyway, that's all I've got, Joe. This is W9DBA, back to net control.
Did you get that, Joe? That's all he's got. W9DBA from K9JJ. Thanks for stopping by there. I got to tell you, I got a good chuckle out of a whole lot of what you said tonight. That feather duster, better do some diagnostics on it, make sure it's working right. We'll break with Scott and check in with Les. Good evening, Les. Good to hear you. Anything for the net this evening?
Good evening, and hope I'm getting in there okay. Again, it kind of tickles me when I do get in there. But I never thought about it, but I guess I better check the SWR on my feather duster here in my shack. You know, don't want my finals to burn out and the handle fall off. So we'll let it go at that. And yeah, I'm just hanging on to the edge of the earth over here in Gosport. Thanks again for doing the net. It's K9RMR.
Yeah, solid copy on you this week. Sounding good from out there on the Twilight Zone. But good to hear you. And yeah, those. I guess everybody's going to get off of here tonight and go check their feather dusters for SWR readings and so on. But anyhow, we'll take one more standby here for any additional check-ins. This is K9JJ, and you've got the BC Aries net. If you'd like to check in, call now. Thank you for taking time out of your evening to be here this week. Sure do appreciate it. Always enjoy talking to each and every one of you, and especially when we have some good humor going around. Just a friendly reminder, my name is Jeff. It's not Joe. And with that, I'll also thank the Columbus Radio or Amateur Radio Club for the use of the repeater each and every week, and we do appreciate that. If no one else has any business further for the net, I will close the net. So if you have any additional comments or any questions, perhaps pertaining to the training/fish fry this weekend, call me now. Time is right at 7:50 Eastern Time right now. So we'll close the net. This is K9JJ. The net is closed, and I'm clear. 73 all.
KD9SDX, K9RMR.
K9RMR, P.O.Box.
Hold on a second. I'm handheld. Let me go in the other room. Give me about a minute. I'll go in the other room. KD9SDX, this is K9RMR. Go ahead. You're a little choppy there. Can you say again? KD9SDX, this is K9RMR. You're breaking squelch about 5 or 10 times, but I'm only got a little bit of audio, so say again, please, if you can.
I'm back here on I-65 on the 9-mile marker, and I'm heading towards Columbus, but still a good way back. It's going to be about 2 minutes before I get a real good signal in there for you.
Okay, I copied you on I-65. I can wait about 2 minutes if you want to. That'd be fine. I copied that last transmission, but it was still, like I said, a little sketchy. So, but it was better than it was before. So, if you want to wait 2 minutes, that'd be fine.
Yeah, once I'm south of White, it pick up pretty quick. Then it gets a lot better. It starts full quieting into the repeater there.
Okay, I'll stand by for about a minute or two. K9RMR.
Alright, man. I'll get with you in about 2 minutes. KB5SDX, declare monitoring. K9RMR, KB5SDX. Randall, you there?
KD5SDX, this is K9RMR. Yeah, you're coming in a lot better now.
Yeah, Roger. I know once I hit that Whiteland overpass, I don't know what it is with the way the interstate is. I can usually get in pretty good from here on in.
Well, it's definitely a lot better. Before you were breaking squelch about 10 times, and I caught about 1 or 2 words, and now you're fine. So you're coming in real good.
That's good. I know the real thing I need to do is buy a more powerful radio instead of doing it with my handy-talkie. But, hey, you know, it is what it is. Hey, they got a net on here tonight?
Yeah, it was at 7:30. It's already over, obviously.
I know last night, man, we missed that one too. Oh, man. I don't know if Alex got in there or not. I have to ask him when I get home.
Well, usually the one on Tuesdays are the one that it seems more people get on than the ones on Wednesday. So, I don't know. It just seems like the ones on Tuesday are a lot bigger. More people join in.
Yeah. That's one of the things I got to do is order some coax. I'm probably going to just get some flexi coax to start and just get about 50 feet of it, and that'll give me the ability to at least throw my mobile antenna up in the air if I want. And you know, I'll probably buy some kind of base station antenna, but to begin with, I just want to be able to get the antenna up in the air and, you know, do what I got to do.
Yeah, I understand that. I recently got a HF rig. It's used and old, and I had some guys help me put up a rain gutter antenna, but I haven't been able to get any contacts on it. I mean, I was able to pick up some stations, but I haven't been able to. I don't know if it's the fact that it's a rain gutter antenna, as far as transmitting, or the fact that just the radio's old or whatever. But I've been able, like I said, to receive a few transmissions, but I haven't been able to send anything and get anybody back. So I've got a tower. It's just a matter of being able to afford to put an antenna on top of it and get it put up, and you know, it's one of those money situation things. So I've got a 50-foot tower ready to go up. Like I said, all I gotta do is get an antenna, and you know, it's one of those things I'm saving up for.
Hey, that's the way I'm doing it, man, piece by piece. You know, like they say, Rome wasn't built in a day. My thinking is I'll just use a little push-up pole that I actually bought it for doing remote setups, like field day or maybe parks on the air or something like that. And it's just a little 30-foot pole. It ain't that big. but I'm like, you know, if I throw the antenna up there 30 feet and give myself 20 feet to have to run around with, you know, I can at least sit inside and hook up my radio to that, see how it does, and then I can mount whatever antenna I want on it, you know. It'd probably work out pretty good.
Yeah, I remember a couple of years ago they did that. They had one of those, like you're talking about, at the field day, and it did pretty good. You know, so yeah, if you got a good radio to go with it, it's a good deal. Like I said, they were. I remember they were talking to people in California and New York on it, and I'm not sure how. I'm not sure. I want to say it was 25 foot, but I couldn't swear to you on that. But yeah, it was a nice. And he only had 5 watts on his radio, so I thought that was pretty good.
That's exactly what I was thinking of. You know, that type of deal. KB5SDX for ID. Yeah, so I mean, I haven't even bought the HF radio yet. I haven't bought any batteries yet. I mean, there's so much stuff I gotta buy, it ain't even funny. But, I've been saving up for the radio, and, you know, if I find stuff that I want, I'll pick it up. I'm thinking about going to the Dayton Ham Fest, too. I noticed the radio I'm looking at, they got it for, I think it's $13.99. Something like that. It was like right at $1,400, I believe, for the U.S.A FT DX10, I think it is, or is it 10DX? No, it's DX10. Anyway, I figured that'd be a good starter radio for me, you know. And it might be a little too big for taking out. I don't know. My idea of doing like parks on the air or something like that is going to be pull up in the parking lot, set up right nearby, not, you know, like these guys that go out there in the woods and set stuff up. I ain't doing all that, man. I'm too old for that.
Well, I can understand that. The one I've got was basically given to me. It's a Kenwood TS 440S. It's an HF only, and I mean, it looks like it's in good shape. I mean, it's an older radio, but like I said, right now all I've got is that rain gutter antenna, and I mean, if you were interested in it, I can get it to you a really good price, because like I said, I'm not going to be using it. The one I'm looking at is the U.S.A FT991A, because it does HF plus VHF and UHF. So I just want one radio that does everything. And like I said, if I can get something like the FT991A, and then get a good, you know, like I said, I've got that tower in the garage in sections. If I can just get some a good antenna and some, you know, get it set up and everything, I'd be good to go. But so it's, you know, I'm like everything, like you said, one thing at a time.
Yep. Yeah, that 991A, that's a nice little rocking radio. I was looking at that. Then they released this new one, and I'm like, oh man, it's got some stuff I really like. That's the one thing I don't like, is that it doesn't have a 2-meter 440 built in, because it would be nice to have a shack in the box, you know, instead of having to bounce to other radios. But then I started thinking too, you know, well, you know, I might want the ability to monitor multiple things while I'm still talking. So I don't know. I got mixed thoughts about it, but either way, I don't think you can go wrong, man. Those are 2 nice radios, I think.
Yeah, I just like the idea of having everything, you know, being able to get everything in one. You know, I don't want to have one radio for this and one radio for that and another radio for, you know. I just like the idea of if I get my tower set up and get an antenna with I can do VHF, UHF, and or what did I say? If I get the, you know, it does all 3, that'll be good for me. I don't have to have anything super powerful, but I would like to be able to start doing some HF stuff. And it's like right now I can't do anything because, I just don't have that tower set up. So, that one you're talking about, I've seen the videos on that, and I think it's HF only if I remember right, and it's got the nice 3D, not only a waterfall, but I think if it's the one I'm thinking about, it's not only got a waterfall, but it's got the 3D waterfall, which is pretty cool if it's the one I'm thinking of. But that's a really nice radio if it's the one I'm thinking of. So like everything else, it's only money. Can't take it with you, as they say.
That's true. That's true. You can't take it with you. Yeah, I think it does do the 3D waterfall. I don't know how practical that really is, but it does look cool. I know you can run it to an external monitor. I remember they said that. But yeah, it's HF only. That would be the negative about that radio. The only advantage of it is that it has a lot more digital clarifications, and I think it's a little more sensitive. But at the end of the day, it's all about having fun and making contacts, and that's the thing. So I don't know. I've got a little bit to go before I drop some coin on one, but I know I'm going to have to buy a mobile rig one way or the other, and I know that I'm going to be buying an HF rig, and I plan on doing it this year. And I tell you, I like that ICOM 7300 too. That's a nice radio there. I wish they'd update it though. That's the only thing. I mean, it's been out for how long now, So if I knew ICOM was coming out with something new to replace that, I'd probably wait. Because man, they cracked a home run with that 7300.
Yeah, that's the one before I bought this handheld that I'm on now. I almost bought it. I didn't have quite enough money at the time, but they've got the 7610 model. I don't know if you're familiar with that one, but it's a 7300, but it's got more features, and it's got more power, and but it costs it's almost twice the price, so it's like $3,000. But it has, like I said, it has more features, and it has the output. You can do, I think it's like 200 watts or something, instead of like 50 and 100. So there's more. It has more power and stuff. But and like I said, the features look a lot better, and I think it's basically it's newer, faster, blah blah blah. But like I said, it costs a lot more. So yeah, that 7300, I think that's going right now for like $1,200. So that's not too bad. So if that's the amount you're wanting to spend, I'd go for it, because I've heard good. I haven't heard anything bad about it as far as it being an HF radio. So everything I've seen online about that everybody seems to really love it.
Yeah, that's kind of the conclusion I came to too. And then they came out with that, like I said, that DX10, and I'm like, wow, it's got a couple extra bells and whistles on it. And I'm like, like I said, if they would just update their radio, I'd be there. Like, I like that monitor output, because as I get older, my eyesight ain't what it was. So that to me is worth having. The extra sensitivity of the radio, like I said, you're probably comparing apples and oranges. It's what you prefer. So I don't know. I got a little ways to go, but one way or the other, it's going to happen. It's just a question of which way I go. But yeah, I've listened to different guys talk that have both radios, and they're like, well, this one does that, this one does that. It's a coin toss, is what it comes down to.
K9RMR for station ID. The thing I like about the 991A, and the reason I think that's the way I'm going to go is one, like I said, it does all the bands. You know, I like that shack in the box idea. Plus, it's small enough. I've got a place I've got a place set aside on my desk right now where it would. I mean, I got the measurements, and it would fit just perfect on this space I got next to my computer and my printer and all this stuff. So I mean, it's just going to fit just perfect. You know, it's just like I said, just a matter of getting the antenna up and getting the you know, the wires running and everything. But you know, it's just for me, for what I do, it would be the, you know, just the right size and what I need and everything. So I mean, yeah, obviously I'd love to have, you know, something like the 7851 or something like that, but those are expensive. So I keep saying I'm gonna spend, you know, I'm gonna use the money and get it, but then something comes up and I need to spend money on this or need to spend money on that, and it's just like, you know what I'm saying, it's sometimes you have to have priorities, and it's just, you know, it's just annoying. You know, if I had a lot of money, I'd do a lot of things, of course, you know how that goes, but
Yep, that's the way it is, man. You know, it's just one of them things, man. You got to just drop that coin when you got it. That's kind of my attitude towards it. I know that if I keep waiting, I'll wait forever. So at some point, I'll just pull the trigger on one of them, and that's what I'll run with. But you know, I like my little Yaesu handheld. I like Alex's Yaesu handheld. So, you know, I kind of like the Yaesu brand, but I'm not 100% sold on anything, you know. And I agree with you. I like that. I really like that 991A. That is a sweet little radio, and that's the one I was looking at. I was like yay close to just ponying up the money for that, and then they dropped that new radio. I was like, oh man. So I don't know. I know I was talking to Mike. What is it? W9MI, I think is his call sign, and he was telling me about his radio. He's got a shack in the box. It's the ICOM, whatever model number it is. But it does HF and it does the different bands. And he loves it, man. You know, he's like telling me all about it. So I mean, there's props to ICOM. You know, they seem to, the people that buy them seem to be happy. So I mean, you know, that's a wonderful thing to hear. And you know, I don't really hear negatives about radios right now. You know, everybody that has whatever radio seems to be pretty happy, and that's a good thing.
yeah, I guess you gotta find what you like and enjoy it. I guess that's the way to do it. So, like I said, I'm on this Kenwood THD 74A. I really like it. I mean, I've had it for several years now, and I haven't had, as far as what it does, I haven't had any single problems with it. I mean, I got a different antenna than came with it, but other than that, it's for handhelds, it does them pretty good. I can't complain at all.
Exactly. That's exactly it, man. Well, I mean, Kenwood's always had good sounding radios. You know, I don't know why they're not coming out with new stuff right now. Seems like everybody else is, but they just seem to be I don't know. They haven't introduced anything lately. Kind of disappointing, you know. Kenwood used to always be on the cutting edge, man. Their radios definitely have a good sound to them, that's for sure. Randall, I'm going to bail on you, man. I just pulled in and I got to put away some frozen stuff so it doesn't go bad on me. Not that if it's really an issue out in this cold weather, but I got to get inside with it. Man, I sure appreciate the QSO. You take care of yourself, stay warm, and have a 73s, and I guess I'll clear out on your final, KB5 SDX.
Okay, well, it's good to talk to you as well. Like I said, that once you broke that one area, you came in a lot better. So that's it's obvious it's working. So if you're ever interested in that Kenwood TS, you might look it up. 440S. I mean, I'd let it go for really, really cheap because, like I said, it was basically given to me, and I'm like I said, I'm gonna be saving up for that 991A, and assuming they don't come up with something else, that's how normally how it works. Is as soon as you decide to buy something, they come up with something new. So who knows? Anyway, I'll let you go. Again, it was good talking to you, and you take it easy for the rest of the week. And this is K9RMR saying good night, God bless, 73, and I am clear.